Hi, everybody. David W. Berner here. It's September. September is a big month for the Writer Shed and for me, because this book is officially out September 15th. And I appreciate all your support and I appreciate all your tolerance of me talking about this book so much. But it's now released and the book tour begins September 19th officially with the launch at Tierra Distilling in Clarendon Hills, Illinois. If you're anywhere near that and you haven't received an invite, please stop by. It's open to the public. We're going to have some drinks, some cocktails, some non-alcoholic beverages too, some bites to eat, and I'll be in discussion with the adult programming coordinator at the Clarendon Hills Library. They'll be interviewing me, and then we'll just hang around and celebrate, and there'll be books to offer to you if you'd like to buy one. So I'm looking forward to that. But also moving ahead, I'm going to be at the Guild again in Wheaton, Illinois, doing a book signing there in October. I'm going to be in Palm Springs, just outside 29 Palms Books Festival, huge book festival. And I will be there in November. I'm also going to be at the Bookseller in Chicago, in the Lincoln Square neighborhood, with two other great authors in November. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also going to be in Raleigh in October. I should have mentioned that earlier. I will be there at Page 158 Books, and also at a book festival, which will be held at Crank Arm Brewing. A lot of breweries are holding book festivals these days, so we're going to be there with some other great writers from the South and other places there. So probably about 5 or 6 of us, and that's going to be fun. And all this can be found on my website in the events tab. So if you go to davidwberner.com, look at events, you'll see all of that. If you have interest in stopping by and saying hello and buying a book and talking a little bit, I'd love to meet you. So that's good on that. And I'm looking forward to all the work that is coming and the book being out officially, and happy to do that. I also am finishing up the manuscript for a poetry collection that's going to come out next year from Kelsey Books, which I'm happy about and thrilled about. That will happen. I'm working on some short stories that I want to get out there too. So some of you may have read the one that's in the Right Launch, and it's in this newsletter too, the link for it. If you haven't read it, I'd love to know your thoughts on that. I hope you are doing well in this fall, and the weather has been really, really pretty lately in the Midwest, so I hope you've been able to enjoy that. And I'd love to hear about what you're reading. I always doing these newsletters, what I'm reading, what I'm listening to. And by the way, I have been listening to a few Dolly Parton songs lately. I grew up, some of you know, my very first radio job was in country music, and I got just right into the middle of the heart of that when it was very, very popular in the late 70s and early 80s, the urban cowboy kind of thing that was around then. And my very first song on the radio was a Crystal Gale song, Don't Make My Brown Eyes Blue. So I'll never forget that, and I always have a connection to that, and Dolly Parton was a big part of that back in those days too. So I'm listening to that, but I also talk about what I'm reading, and I'm reading some things that I'm kind of going back to a little bit. Annie Dillard work that I love. But I always like to know what you're reading. And please, you can drop me an email. It's in the newsletter here. It's easy to find. I'd love to know that. And I even would be really happy to throw out some of your suggestions for reading in the newsletter the next time around. So don't be shy about that. I'd love to hear more about what you're reading out there, or even what you're listening to. If there's something that's really striking you lately these days, I'd love to hear about that too. So all those things are going on, and appreciate you checking in on The Abundance, my Substack newsletter, and appreciate your thoughts on that and some of your replies on that. That's been great. So I appreciate it. I know the newsletter tends to be all about me. Well, it kind of is all about me because that's what it is. But it's also about you and about what you're doing and how your artistic life is going. I'd love to know more about that. And I want you to reach out and let me know. Do that through many different ways: Instagram, Facebook, emails. You can reply to The Abundance. I just like to create and move forward with a sort of artist community virtually, even if I can. And I do that through some of my teaching with Gotham writers, which is wonderful to do. But it feeds my soul when I hear from you about what you're up to and what you're working on, what you're writing, or maybe what you're reading, or any artistic endeavor you may be involved with. I met a woman the other day at the Free Poets on the Spot that I do at the Clarendon Hills, Illinois Farmers Market. And she's a watercolor artist. And it was great to talk to her about the work she does. I love watercolors. And she does very sort of traditional watercolors, but there's also some abstract kind of watercolor work out there that I love. So I love to talk about that kind of stuff. So feel free to reach out. But anyway, this is the September newsletter. I thank you for all your support. American Moon comes out this month, and I'm very proud of that book and looking forward to the launch on the 19th, and hope you can be there. We are going to stream it, by the way. We're going to stream it on Substack. There'll be more about that later and some links for that. Thanks, everybody.